Hey guys, and thanks for tuning in to Long Island Wargaming's Generals Challenge, a series where we're going to play regular Warhammer Fantasy battle games, but what we will do is impose some sort of restrictions on the two opponents. So this first one is with myself and Kyle, and the restrictions that we're going to be having in this game is each player gets to, before the lists are made, pick 2 units that the opponent cannot use, and force the opponent to use 2 units. I'm going to be playing my Skaven army, and Kyle will be playing my Tomb King army. And the restrictions Kyle had imposed on me was I had to bring Rat Swarms, and I had to bring Giselles. And the units that we were forced to take, we had to take at least 100 points of. The unit that I will not be able to use is a Hell Pit Abomination, and I will not be able to bring Clan Rats. Now for the Tomb King army, I prevented Kyle from bringing any Tomb Guard or any Necro Sphinxes, and I forced him to bring the regular skeletal cavalry, not the guys with bows, just the regular cavalry, and I forced him to bring Ustabi. Alright, so I do have a list of notes, but I want to see if I can maybe get through this battle report without doing too much stopping and cutting and editing, just so I could just see if I can somehow get through all this quickly and not have to spend a lot of time creating such a long video. Alright, so here is our deployment. In the far left over there is the Casket of Souls. The giant, or whatever that is a Hero Titan, I believe. I think Kyle brought a handful of spear skeletons. He's got a Necrotech and a level 4 caster with his guys. And then another small unit of skeletons with spears and a BSB. And then he's got the Ustapi in front. He was kind of annoyed that I picked them, and I knew he would be because they are kind of useless, I think, or at least very overpriced. So, I don't know, he had to take 3 of them because unit size is 3+, so he had to take 150 points, while he'd rather have stuck to the limitation of the minimum, which is 100 points for those forced units, but oh well. And then he's got the Snake Riders. And also the Skeleton Cavalry are proxied as bowmen. And then these guys do have a vanguard, so they move before turn 1. For my units and deployment, I had, from left to right, I have the Doom Wheel, then I've got my 5 Rat Swarms, used Rat Swarms that I've made and some Giant Rats as proxies, small Rat Dart, my 5 Giselles. I took Storm Vermin, since I couldn't take Clan Rats, so I took Storm Vermin. I would have rather had taken the Clan Rats because I just feel their stats are comparable to Skeletons. It would have been fine. And then they've got a Poison Wind Mortar attached, 50 Slaves, and then I took 10 Globadiers, just in case there was any high armored crap like the War Sphinx or anything else stupid like that. And then another Rat Dart, and then by that little settlement over there, there is a Poisoned Wind Mortar. Plague Claw Catapult, I should say. And let's see. Now there's the Vanguard moves, and then Tomb King is get turn 1, so he actually is able to get those skeletons up pretty far. Remember, they're just regular skeleton cavalry. There are no bows on them. And let's see, anything else? He got 11 for Winds of Magic. He tried to do some damage to the Doom Wheel, but nothing happened. Nothing really happened for his turn 1. So what we're going to look at is my turn 2. I move up everything on the right side of the board pretty much full, I guess. The Globadiers I threw up to deal with the cavalry. I didn't think they were really going to do much, but we'll see how that goes. And then the Rat Dart just kind of directed, I guess the guys in, I don't know why I did that, because it looks like they're going to overrun into the giant rats. So maybe I did that to expose the flank to the slaves. I'm not really sure. But also to go over, I've got a BSB engineer with Doom Rocket and a Gracier, level 4 Gracier. I'm not really going to go over too much in the magic this game. I just kind of want to breeze through this General's Challenge battle report. But the Gracier actually moved over from the Storm Vermin unit to the Slave unit just so I can get off Vermintide and hit those guys, the cavalry. And then over here we could see the Rat Dart moves up, the Doom Wheel moves up. The Doom Wheel is gunning for that Hero Titan guy. This way I can kill him with my D6 multiple wound hits. The Unbreakable Rat Swarms are just kind of getting ready to deal with anything that comes their way. This way I can either flank them or try to tie them up and expose someone else's flank so the Storm Vermin can move in. But I've got some shooting with my Giselles and the Poison Wind Mortar. Nothing too crazy with them. However, the Plague Claw Catapult kills 10 skeletons. Not bad. And I've got my Vermintide spell that went off and somehow only killed one guy in the unit. And then I ended up killing a bunch of my own rats, which was kind of annoying. Oh, I guess looks like I finally, in this movement phase, I guess I took that picture before I set up those giant rats. So I guess they're directing them now away from the Globadiers, because I think he'd have more guys in my front arc. I think that's what I was going for, but the Vermintide ends up killing some of my guys, which is kind of sad. And yep. And that's it. I know I throw a couple globes. No, I don't know if I threw globes. If I did, nothing too much to remember. So on Tomb King turn 2, there's the charge from the cavalry. And everything just moves up a little bit. The Hero Titan guy is going to hide behind the building so the Doom Wheel can't hit him dead on, but hopefully he can at least move near him. And what happened in Magic? He tries to get the protection spell off. Nothing too crazy. So the combats are super interesting. This combat here with the cavalry, the 4 cavalry and the giant rat and packmaster. I actually killed 2 guys. Or maybe I killed 1 guy and then when he failed his test, he just lost 1 to his instability or whatever. But honestly, I thought I was going to lose, which is pretty funny. And then the Globadiers actually did a nice little chunk of damage, either from their front rank attacks or the globes that they threw. I think one of the 2 wounds that I ended up taking was from me just globing myself. I think I killed one of my own guys. But both combats end up staying, which was pretty awesome. And that's really it for that turn. Now we're going to move on to Skaven turn 2. I don't really do too much moving, if you notice. But let's see. I use my Grey Seer to get off the Dreaded 13th spell onto that smaller unit of skeletons. I don't know if it was because it was closer or I had high hopes of turning them into a rat unit. But either way, I ended up killing like 16 guys, so there was like not much left. So that forced him to move his caster into the bigger unit. Poison Wind Mortar gets some kills, but my giant rat gets another kill, which is pretty funny, and he gets no hits or wounds back on me with either the rider or the steed. And I guess since he lost the wounds, he lost combat, and then he ended up losing. So that giant rat, awesome. And then the Globadiers do the same, finish him off. which is pretty awesome. Oh, and I can't forget the Doom Wheel actually misfired with his shots. So he actually ended up getting an extra movement, so he's up to 4d6 random move. So on Tomb King turn 3, I believe Kyle needed a 11 or a 12 to get his monstrous cavalry into a charge against the slave rats. And he actually got it, which I wasn't expecting. I don't know, kind of threw me off. And also at the time, I didn't remember or didn't know that the engineer can do his Doom Rocket as a stand and shoot reaction. So that could have actually saved me or done some damage, but oh well. And at the time, the Gray Seer was in there, and I was hoping he was far away enough to not have to deal with anything at this turn. I would have another turn to move him, but I was wrong. So that kind of screws me. And you could see his movement here. My guys are just sitting there waiting for his Hero Titan to come by. The Ustapi are starting to move forward. Yeah, and then in Magic, the caster, I believe, actually, if I remember correctly, Kyle had 2 casters, one of them of life, and he actually got Time Warp off onto his monster's cavalry, which is huge. He also miscasted it, but didn't. I mean, there wasn't anything too bad from what I remember. And he essentially just kills a bunch of slaves because he gets the extra attacks. I believe and its attacks increased by 1, so I don't remember. I believe the mount gets it. I'm not sure. But either way, I took a crap load of hits. Both my heroes die, both the Gray Seer and the engineer. Oh well. And I mean, at that point it was just pretty bad. On my turn, what I had done is moved up everything so that the Doom Wheel in Kyle's turn actually took another wound. It took a wound from something, and I actually rolled again, increased its movement. So at this point in the game, it's moving 5d6 random move, which is crazy. So things just zipping around. So it was unfortunately not able to get near the Hero Titan. So the closest thing is the stupid skeletons. So oh well. And I was able to get my Storm Vermin in, or at least my BSB, but at this point it was only a clip. And I mean, even in the shooting phase, I was trying to throw some globes. Between the globes and some attacks from the units, I was able to kill one of the guys. And then my slaves just die pretty bad. They go all crazy and kill everyone nearby. And at this point, it was just kind of silly. So I didn't take too many pictures past this. The Doom Wheel at some point gets into the back of those guys, those skeletons over there to the right. And I did that so I can still shoot the Plague Claw Catapult at the bigger unit. And I actually got a direct hit over that. And oh man, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys, seven guys deep, and that's ranks of 5. So I mean that was over, I guess, 35 guys or so. So I didn't kill as much as I hoped, but I did kill a bunch there. The Doom Wheel goes flying forward from an overrun, and everything just kind of closes in on the Storm Vermin and whittles them down. I eventually killed the last serpent, but Kyle wasn't going to run in everything else and give me victory points. So the Doom Wheel actually charges the Hero Titan at some point and actually gets destroyed, surprisingly. And I charged Ustapi and kill 1 or 2, but at that point, victory points alone. Kyle had this game. and it was fun though. It was fun to play a game where the enemy forces you to use units that you don't normally use. And for us, that's not many units because since we're not playing super competitive tournament games, we are able to take some liberties and bring some fun stuff periodically. But I mean, I never bring rat swarms, and that's something he forced me to bring. And I mean, Giselles, I don't bring them either, and they were fairly useless. I figured they'd be good at shooting down some of the bigger stuff like the Monstrous Infantry or the Monster, the Hero Titan, but kind of useless. The one thing that I screwed up pretty bad was allowing my Gracier to get charged. I really didn't think he was going to roll an 11 or 12 or even charge with those guys yet because I didn't have too much offensive stuff to take out his guys. I didn't think he was going to run in the Serpents, but he did. But yeah, good game. Victory to Kyle. Good old Skaven and Tomb Kings. But this was just kind of a kickoff game to our Generals Challenge series. I'd love to get some comments from you guys on just some interesting restrictions or ideas of, what would make a good fun game that's just different. And it could be anything from rare is increased to 50% and you have no core and it's special 50%, rare 50%, or something like that, or your restrictions are 50% lords and 50% special, or just something that changes up the normal use of the games. Or like, I don't know, your core is from one army and your special is from a different, and then just you have to make it work. So just list some comments below if you guys have any silly ideas. So this is meant to be more of a, I guess, an entertaining series, or I don't want to use the word silly too much, but it is an idea of, just seeing some of the units used differently, or just the play style altered due to certain restrictions. So just yeah, comments and anything else, I'd love to hear. Thanks, guys.